Tide ain't coming yet, but I want water to my neck. Tide ain't coming yet, but I want water to my neck. I wanna drown inside this. I wanna drown inside this. Go down an eye, like I Captain. I ain't never had a vibe this vibrant. Then but also shiny with that 3-eye vision. Take this moment, I'ma die inside it. I am pariah, I am Mariah. Words they carry, don't trust the silence. Gotta fill it all up, like to my phone screen, ultraviolet. This ultraviolence, probably need more milk, but it all spilled. Sit with my guilt inside it. Temper, don't throw a tantrum. Throw words at random, make an anthem. Spin game like frisbee, make it happen. Act like I'm not trapped in the swelling wave. Tide ain't coming yet, but I want water to my neck. Tide ain't coming yet, but I want water to my neck. For a low tide, pray for it.
I am Daniel Madison, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Charlie Madison, I truly appreciate you choosing to spend a bit more time with us today. So, thank. If you don't know who the swear word I am Daniel Madison. I teach magic, sleight of hand, close-up perceptions with a deck of playing cards, and I teach it all right here on my YouTube channel. And today, in this video, I get to share with you and teach you something very, very special. In so many of my sleight of hand videos, I've been demonstrating, performing, and exposing this one specific move that seems to get the comment section lit up with "please teach us this move." The reason I haven't been able to teach this move until right now is it's not my move to teach. It belongs to Chris Ramsay and it's called the Slipshift. Now, just a few days ago, Chris decided to teach the Slipshift on his YouTube channel. I reached out to him and he gave me full permission to teach my handling and my ideas that complement his move. It gives me so much pleasure to finally teach the Slipshift. So Chris, from the bottom of my something, thank. I'm Daniel Madison and this is Chris Ramsay's Slipshift. As with all sleight of hand techniques, deceptive methods that I teach, we're going to start with exposure of the basic mechanics so that you can see exactly what's going on right from the beginning, and we can work backwards from there to the execution, to the performance, and some different ideas. If you haven't seen Chris Ramsay's video already, then what are you doing here? Go watch it. This video is meant to complement Chris's video and to add a few of my own ideas. But don't worry, I will teach you everything about this move that I know that I've learned. We're going to start this right away with 2 playing cards. Don't build the bad habit of practicing this with more than 2 playing cards just because it feels easier. If you build that habit of performing this with more than 2 playing cards, when you do get to use 2 playing cards, it'll feel very different, it'll feel very odd. Here's what it looks like in slow motion. I'm going to hold these 2 playing cards together, posing as 1 playing cards on the non-index corners of the card like this. My thumb goes here and finger 2 goes here. If I show you the card like this, show you the other side, you'll start to see the bridge that I've made. I have bowed, can't say that word properly, I've bowed. I've created a bow, a bridge in these 2 playing cards. Now, my aim here is that that bridge is not obvious, that it's not too apparent. I don't want it to look like this. Certainly don't want anybody to see it. But it's important that both cards do bend this way very slightly. At this position, with the cards held out like this, finger 3 and 4, Daniel, I'm going to curl underneath. And what happens here, if I expose this, finger 2 makes contact with the index, the bottom index of the ace of spades, and the pinky, finger 4, clips on the very bottom corner of the card at the back, which is the queen of spades. From this position, I now clip both cards pretty heavily, pretty sturdily between fingers 3 and 4. The pressure from finger 2 and my thumb right now is a downward pressure on the ace of spades with very little contact with that queen of spades. When I extend fingers 3 and 4 away from myself, away to the right, can you hear that wind? That's mad. There's a storm outside. when I extend these two fingers away, I want the Queen of Spades to pivot on finger 2. I don't want it to leave finger 2, it never leaves, it pivots like this. So if I pull down with fingers 3 and 4, you can see it releases from the thumb and it pivots against finger 2. It never leaves finger 2, this is a very important note. So if I now turn this back down like this, I'm going to stretch fingers 3 and 4 as far to the right as I can without exposing the Queen. Remember, they don't leave finger 2, neither of those cards leave finger 2. As soon as I'm confident that fingers 3 and 4 are extended far enough, I'm going to reverse bridge the Ace of Spades like this by just pressing down with finger 1. And if you look into this gap now, if you look into the window of my hand, you can see that I've buckled this playing card just enough so that the Queen can make its way through and over the top at this point. Now if I do that up to speed, so here, you see the Queen pop over the Ace of Spades. Now I allow the Queen of Spades, the index corner of the Queen of Spades, to add a pressure to the face of the Ace of Spades. If I pull back with my thumb now, the Ace of Spades starts to line up underneath the Queen of Spades. Remember, the corners of these two playing cards are still on finger 2, they never let go. That's still my pivot point. So now if I pull my finger back and start pulling fingers 3 and 4 inwards, finger 1 makes contact with the Queen of Spades, the corner on top, and I can use finger 1 to push the Queen of Spades this way slightly. When I do that, watch what happens. It pivots over the top of the Ace of Spades. Fingers 3 and 4 now line up against the side of that Queen. And then the cards are straight and my fingers are back in position. Finger 1 on this corner and the thumb on this corner. So that's the complete cycle, the complete move. So if we do this once again, I clip both cards like this and I pull with my pinky. This releases the Queen of Spades from my thumb, pivoting against finger 2 here, and I pull these two fingers back as far as I can, fingers 3 and 4. Finger 1 now presses down on the Ace of Spades. At this point, don't be tempted to do this, to make so much room for the Queen. We don't want to cause too much of a bend in this Ace of Spades. At this point, you can see what I mean. I just need to clear that Queen over the front, and that can allow the Ace to straighten back up. Finger 1 makes contact with the Queen here. I can let go here. Finger 1 presses forward as fingers 3 and 4 underneath press those cards together. The thumb does the rest, and now the cards are perfectly clipped together. That is the mechanics of the slip shift. Let's now have a little chat about how you're going to practice this and how you're going to make it look perfect in your execution and in your performance. The first time I saw Chris Ramsay, he was performing, demonstrating sleight of hand techniques on film with a deck of my playing cards, caught my attention right away, and we became friends. He showed me the slip shift, he taught me the slip shift, and that's when I knew that this was a serious and dedicated and skillful sleight of hand artist. It's been about 6 years since he taught me the move, and I've only just now started to feel confident enough to teach it, because yes, it is a very, very difficult move. You're going to need a lot of patience, you're going to need persistence, bit of endurance. It is a very difficult move, and you're going to lose your temper with it when you drop playing cards and your fingers start to hurt and muscles and your hands start moving that you've never moved before, and you end up with a cramp in your hand. Charlie, this is one of those moves. Now, I've been performing this move as an expose just to show people on film in my demonstrations just how beautiful the mechanics of this sleight of hand technique really are. I have this relationship with exposing magic and sleight of hand. Often I think the technique itself, the deceptive method, is so much more beautiful than the prestige, and this is one of those moves that seriously complements sleight of hand and dexterity with playing cards when it comes to seeing how it works rather than just being fooled by the move itself. So it's the things that I don't like about this technique and this move that made me, instead of walking away from it thinking, oh no, your fingers are all over the place, man, this doesn't look good, you have to turn it in some weird angle sensitive ways, I don't like that. Instead of walking away from it because of that, I decided to take those motions, take those movements and finger positions and try and make it try and justify why that was happening in my body language, in the way that I'm moving, in the way that I'm inspecting and exploring my own playing cards, whilst at the same time indirectly showing my audience both sides of the playing card. So it becomes more of a kind of curious inspection of the playing cards, the way that I'm executing the move itself. In that kind of confusion, that's when the move happens. And for me, the most important thing about the way that I do this is that the move happens before anybody realizes that the cards have switched. So that's why it's not a color change. I don't like to finish the move and then the cards change and everybody's like, whoa, it changed. I want to do the change and then slow roll, slowly turn over to show you that the cards move. This just allows me to hide the deception and make it look more natural, I believe. Tell me what you think anyway. So this begins with me holding the playing card, one playing card, at arm's length to show my audience, to show Suzan Sausage the back of the playing card. It looks like I'm inspecting the front, so it looks like I'm just looking at the ace of spades, so I'm indirectly showing you the back. Now I bring it over here so that I can look at the back of the playing card too, and it looks like that's my action, it looks like that's my motivation. Meanwhile, I'm indirectly inviting my audience, Suzan Sausage, to inspect the front of the playing card where she can see the ace of spades. But as I do this from here to here, I execute the first part of the move, so I get the queen of spades in position to go over the front of the ace of spades, which looks like this. So I show the back, and as I come back here, I do the first part of the move, so the queen is now pivoted against finger 2 like so. And if you look from head on, you can't see the queen, you can just see the ace of spades. If I expose that, it's very dirty, there's a lot going on. And from my point of view, it looks like everything's exposed, it looks a little bit risky, but I know that my audience can only see the ace of spades at this point. I'm going to pull back with my thumb, causing that ace of spades to line up underneath the queen of spades. Now I'm going to put the card back here to show the back once again. And on my way back, that's when I'm going to straighten up. So let me do this in stages. So I show the back, I start the move. I'll expose this actually from this point of view. I now start the move. I'm looking at the back of the ace of spades. They can still see the ace of spades. I show the back once more. At this point, I've completed the slide, but it looks like it's not finished yet. It still looks like the ace of spades. This allows me from this point, from this position, to very slowly and very carefully, with no movements, just turn my hand over like this to show the queen of spades. I've allowed myself to get rid of all the dirty work, to execute all the dirty work before the moment of prestige, so that if my audience, if my participant was to backtrack, when they get to that point where I turn the card over, there was no fishy business, there was no dodgy, dirty moves going on. I simply just did this. Now, before you even think about this, don't even think about it. Do not use this idea as an excuse to do this, because that makes you look like an idiot. Now, something that I love to do with the slip shift. 3 playing cards. We're going to take the ace of spades, the 9 of clubs, and the queen of spades. I'm going to put the 9 of clubs in between the queen and the ace, face down like so, and I'm going to straighten these up. Now I'm going to perform the slip shift. I'm going to do it a little bit different. We're not going to do it from up here, up at eye level. We're going to do it down. So this is for a close-up crowd, people who are stood near me, people who are stood close next to me. We're looking down at the ace of spades. So camera 2, when I pull that queen over the front, I can get to about this position. I'll expose that here for you. I can get to about this position before anybody can see anything going on, because everybody's still looking down on top of the ace of spades, which is mostly shaded by my hand. So you can see this kind of gap, this window. At this point, as soon as I know that the queen is in the corner here, at my pivot corner, I can shake my hand as I'm straightening those playing cards up. This shaking business, I'm not a fan of it, but it allows for a motion blur that hides the change itself. So it should, done correctly, it should just look like a color change. So the ace has now changed into the queen. I don't want to bring my other hand into this yet. One of the beautiful things about this is that all happens in one hand. We don't need to straighten up. We don't need to lose our confidence by bringing the other hand in, thinking, oh no, they're gonna fall apart, they're gonna move. We need confidence with the performance hand. Once we've done the change and our fingers are back in position, I'm gonna slide my fingers down to the side like this, press down with finger 1, and catch all 3 playing cards in my hand. Now, my left hand needs to be quite wide open, and I need to get ready to really kind of catch those playing cards so that they don't separate. I need to try and make this look like a natural thing, like I'm not panicking, so I don't grip. I just do it kind of loosely, and I try and make this hand look kind of relaxed so that those cards don't fall out of place. In this position, I have 3 playing cards in my hand. Who can tell me what happens next? All at once, gambler's cop. We couldn't do it, Charlie. I just can't do it. I can't do a single video without doing a gambler's cop. But bear with me, because this is beautiful. All the playing cards are towards the front of my hand. A huge mistake that I'm still seeing with the gambler's cop is people doing this and then getting away with the dirty playing cards. You might as well not do it. You might as well not do the move. This position and this 9 of clubs, the right hand comes in over the top, finger 2 here, thumb at the back. I do slide everything back, and as soon as I get to gambler's cop position, I now pivot, I now turn over the 9 of clubs like this, and now I can hand this out for inspection as I get away with the dirty playing cards, which I can ditch in my pocket. So to do that at full speed, that full idea, so you can see the steal as well. I have all 3 cards together, I execute the slip shift, and now get to this position, boom, 1 more change, and then I turn the card over like this, and now I can get rid of these dirty little playing cards into my dirty pocket, leaving behind just 1 playing card for full, complete inspection. That was Chris Ramsay's slip shift. I do hope that I've added something to it and offered a little bit more that you can play with a few different ideas. I'll be back soon with some more dope tutorials. Make sure you subscribe so you get my notification bell going ding 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 ding, well, every time I drop a new tutorial. If anybody watching this performs any of my moves or the slip shift, tag me in your performances. I would love to come and check them out, perhaps give you some guidance. The slip shift itself is a very difficult move to master, so have a lot of patience and take your time. And finally, once more with feeling, Chris Ramsay, FANX. I'm Daniel Madison. See you next time.